Hey everybody, it's Saturday, and I thought I'd take the time because I had a little bit of time to go through some of my old boxes of cards. And what you're looking at right now is very different than the normal stuff I show on this channel. This is some of my old vintage card collection that I actually had when I was a kid. This is stuff that I collected in the 80s. And it's funny going through it nowadays with a high emphasis on high quality, really nice looking cards and getting them graded and slabbed, and you kind of forget how it all started and just the way the cards felt in your hand. And you really didn't know about centering, and you definitely didn't know about condition, and the cards you thought that were in good shape, looking back at them now, they really aren't in good shape. So these are almost all-star cards from the 70s. I got a few 60s, and then maybe 1980 is the newest stuff in this. But I wanted to just go through it all. One of the cards that was a highlight of my childhood collection is this card here, this Pete Rose 1970. If you notice, it's someone has putting tape on it. I didn't do this; it was given to me this way. But it was I thought, a really nice looking card, and I didn't have a lot of really old vintage Pete Rose back in the day. But you can tell there where they actually had put the tape down on the right side of the card and lifted it up, because it's like perfectly preserved there on above, right over the left ear of Pete Rose. I used to always think, what if I had this card and they hadn't done this? Oh boy, that would have been an awesome card. In my childish mind, I thought it was a pretty big card back then. And who knows why they would do that, put that in tape? But some child thought they could preserve it that way. But just an illustration of how cards were treated decades ago, before all this grading stuff became prevalent. And looking through here, I got some other cards that I like. I remember actually that Harmon Killebrew there is one of the first vintage cards I ever bought at a card show. And it's even now, I think even it's got a surface crease there up the top. That wasn't there before I purchased it. Kind of a rough cut on there, but a card that I love. And some of my Willie McCovey cards that I love. I love this Giant Heroes. You can see it's got a huge crease down the center. I think I've got this on a PSA 8. But this is, it's cool to have this one from the childhood collection. Just a really cool card. I love the batting shell in the background. And I've got my McCovey collection back here, the original McCovey collection. I don't think anything would grade above a 2. Well, maybe some of this other stuff, this newer stuff, that's 79. I think I got an 80 over here. That might grade a 3 or something. Some more Pete Rose cards right here. Then down here, I love this 1974 Juan Marichal with that late kick. That's old school Juan Marichal. This is actually his last year, but it's got creased. It's all creased up. I've got always the tough issue, the 71 Topps. That Billy Williams is not too bad, I guess. It might get a 4 or 5 on a good day. This is the high number from that set, the John Matlack rookie. Then a Jim Bunning, his last card. Tommy John, just a couple other comments here. Oh, down here, there's the one Marichal one I showed. Look how bad this thing is. Man, it's just totally toast. I mean, goodness gracious. But, just to feel this stuff, these cards almost feel soft. They don't feel, they've been taken such a beating over time, but there's a softness to them. Phil Necro, the nice crease in it. But cool stuff, and a lot of stuff here from 79, 80. Then down here, 76 is got all the guys. I got quite a few Johnny Bench. Look at this Bruce Sutter rookie, or I think it's Sutter or Sutter. Looked like a rat or something that's chewing off the right corner of that card. Then the Garvey with paper loss on it, Don Sutton. Quite a few from 79, 78, 79 as well. Here's actually a couple that aren't in that bad of shape. But, looking at this card, I thought this card would be mint, man. This is in great shape. Now you look at it and the centering is so poor, you're just kind of like, oh, man, that wouldn't be worth grading. And even then, these cards, today don't go for that much, even if they're in a high grade. Some of them aren't so bad once you get closer to the 80s. But even then, like this 79 is in pretty rough shape. And the centering on it is way off. This is probably, I don't know, kind of a diamond cut. Some stains on the back. Reggie Jackson, rough shape. Definitely were well loved. Now, so I didn't obviously collect any of these from packs. I got these from other people. But I enjoyed going through these cards as a kid, and you'd look up in the price guide and see how much they were worth with the assumption that, that these were in good shape. Obviously, they weren't. But just some fond memories on this Saturday as I go through some of these old cards, and I wanted to share that with everybody. Once again, everybody, I appreciate your posts and comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.